Adding VST3 plugins to the free and open source DAW LMMS is entirely possible to do, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how it's done. Now, in case you don't have a VST3 instrument or plugin to test out, I'll provide a link to a free testing VST3 plugin below. This plugin was designed just for testing, but it can help you troubleshoot and get other VSTs working within your DAW. So in order to download this plugin, just look in the description below for the link. So the very first thing that we need to do once we have LMMS opened is we need to go to Edit, and then we need to go to Settings. Here we'll click on this folder icon to bring up the directories or the paths page. Now here you need to take note of where your plugin directory is. In my case, I'm storing my VST files in a folder called VST Plugins, and this folder is in my Programs file folder. Now for a future step, you're going to need to remember this folder's location. At this point, I also suggest that you create a new folder here for your VST3 plugins, and you keep them separate from your VST2 plugins. So in my case, I've added a folder called VST3 plugins in my program files folder as well. Now, LMMS won't need to know about this new folder, but we're going to need to use it in a moment for something else we're going to install. So just ensure that you create that folder now. Now next, you're going to need to install a free plugin which can be used within LMMS, and it's called Element. You need to use this plugin because LMMS can't actually play VST3 files on its own. So what Element essentially does is it wraps the VST plugin that you want to use within itself in order to make the VST3 file playable in a VST2 only environment. So after downloading Element, you can run the install file. Now the default destination folder can be kept the same. However, next, and this is really important, you're going to be asked where you want to install VST2 plugins. This is where you need to select the same folder from our LMMS VST folder settings page. So select the same folder there now, and then you can click on Next. Now you're going to be asked where your VST3 plugin folder is, and because you should have already created that folder in the last step, you can simply select that newly added folder to this step now. So here, everything can be kept the same, and now we can just click on Install. Next, you need to run Element on your computer, and you're going to need to repeat this step each time you add a new VST3 to your VST3 directory. Now, once Element is opened, click on View, and then Plugin Manager. And now click on Options, and then Search Paths, and then VST3 here. Now, just make sure the VST3 search path is correct here. And if it's not, you can always click on this plus icon and then add the new search path, essentially the folder where you store your VST3 plugins. But if this is correct, and it likely is, you can close this out and instead click on this scan option here. Element will now scan your VST3 folder for any new virtual instruments or plugins you've added. Then once the scan is complete, you can close this all out. Okay, just to be safe at this point right now, you should close down LMMS and then open it back up again. Now, once you have it open back up again, click on this instrument plugins icon here. And in order to add VSTs, we need to use this Vestige plugin, which you see right here. So let's add that by dragging and dropping it over here. And then with Vestige selected, you'll see this pop-up window over here. So just click on this folder icon here and then look through your VST2 plugins folder. And if you scroll down here, you'll see something called KV Element DLL. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to select that file. Now here you can see that Element can be opened within LMMS. Again, if you have any troubles with this step or it's not opening, try restarting LMMS. And if that doesn't work, try restarting your computer and then go through these steps again. But at this point, if Element opened, all you're going to need to do is you're going to need to search under plugins for, in our case, the Neo Moon testing plugin, or you can just look through the files that you see under the plugins tab here until you find the VST3 file that you want. However, in order to create a sound, you're going to need to link up the Element VST2 to your VST3 file, but doing so is easy. Essentially, you have a MIDI in here and an audio output, and between these two nodes, you have your own VST3 file. So to make everything work, simply connect your MIDI in output into your VST3 input. Then your VST will have two outputs. Simply connect each one of those two outputs down into your audio output node. And now you're going to be able to play your VST3 file within LMMS. So if you have any troubles with any of this, simply add your questions or problems in the comment section below. And as a community, we're going to do our best to try to help you troubleshoot the issue. Again, just before signing off, I want to remind you that if you have a VST idea that you're trying to bring to life and you'd like to outsource the design or development of your VST idea, head over to NeoMoon today to see how we might be able to help you with your build. I'll provide a link to our VST development agency below. Or if you want to learn how to create VSTs yourself, we offer comprehensive courses on both no-code VST development as well as VST design. Links to everything can be found in the description below. Thanks for stopping by today, and don't forget to like and subscribe to get access to more no-code VST development tutorials.